Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Brenda, and I just love to talk about all different kinds of things. I like to share my experience, my knowledge with others, and I also like to learn from other people as well. I enjoy the comments that I get. I love to get new subscribers, new comments. So if you haven't already done that, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you'll get notifications of new videos up. I don't have a regular schedule for putting videos up right now. Just as I'm able to have extra time, I've been doing that. Anyway, it's January the 7th. And I hadn't planned on doing a video today, but I just thought this would be a good time just to sit down and share some things with you all. I've been in the middle of the after Christmas trauma of putting my Christmas decorations away, organizing. I don't know, the new year kind of does things like that to me. I don't make New Year's resolutions because I'm not very good at keeping them, but I always get this bug of wanting to organize and wanting to do different things to my house. And you're seeing that behind me. Normally that's my grandbaby table back there with my two precious grandsons' pictures. But you're seeing this that has been cleaned out of cabinets and needs to go to my storage room. It's a spare bedroom that I use to store some things. And this is ingredients left over from all of my Christmas baking that I didn't get completed. So those have to be stored in airtight containers and put away as well. So behind me, you're seeing all of these things that Miss Brenda's in the middle of doing. And instead I decided to sit down and do a video, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I was kind of thinking it's gloomy here today. So I'm doing laundry. It's laundry day today. That's my least favorite thing to do. I just really don't like laundry, but it has to be done. So today is devoted to doing laundry, and it's gloomy outside, and I was sitting down just kind of browsing through a cookbook, and I got to thinking about my channel and the things I like to share with you all. And I've been kind of talking about prepping quite a bit, and I had on my heart to talk to the new preppers a while back, and I never have shared my resources that got me started. I wanted to do that today. I wanted to share some of my prepping books with you all, and this is by no means all of them because I love books. I absolutely love books. I have too many books, but I can't get rid of my books. So anyway, when I don't know, it's been years ago. We had some friends who had a nice kind of farm, and they introduced me to this book, it's a huge book, and it has small print and lots of diagrams. It's called the Encyclopedia of Country Living. And you could buy this on Amazon, I'm sure. I'm going to tilt it a little bit so the glare goes away so you can read that in case you want to order this for yourself. And I will read, it says the essential resource. No home is complete without this one-of-a-kind encyclopedia. It's a wealth of information. A lot of information about moving to the country, buying land. It says practical advice and valuable information and collected wisdom for folks and farmers in the country, city, and anywhere in between. Includes how to cultivate a garden, buy land, bake bread, raise farm animals, make sausage, can peaches, milk a goat. I never did that. Grow herbs, churn butter, build a chicken coop, catch a pig, cook on a wood stove, and much, much more. Now, when I got this book, I was interested at that time in raising chickens, which I love having chickens. We don't have any right now. And also we wanted to start a garden, which we're not able to do. Also, I had knee replacement surgery year before last. It's not been 2 years yet, and that's limited me on how much gardening I'm able to do. But back in the day, this book kind of started waking my mind up to being a little more self-sufficient, growing your own vegetables, your own eggs, raise chickens for a meat source as well. And that worked out very well. If any of you all have any of those kind of leanings that you might like to be a little more self-sufficient, this would be a great book to have. There's stuff in here that I didn't. Of course, how to make your own dog biscuits. I'm just thumbing through here. There's lots of recipes, how to process your own meat, how to hunt for your own meat and process that, which we've never done that either. I'm not a super country girl, you know, we live out of city limits, but not totally in the country, and we do not live on a farm. But some of these things were interesting to me, and we did enjoy having our chickens when we did that. There's information on herbs, which herbs are good for medicinal purposes, edible purposes. Lots and lots of information in this book. But again, if you're not interested in these types of things, it's probably not a book for you. I think the next book I got was this book, Just in Case. It's a smaller book with a little bit larger print, but it has a lot of information. Don't be scared, be prepared. And that's what I would say to you all. Just be prepared. Be prepared for any situation that you can imagine might come your way. Keep your eyes on the news and what's going on around you in your community, and use that knowledge to keep your family prepared and safe during uncertain times. This talks about what to do when the power goes out, how to keep your food safe in the freezer and refrigerator. It talks about the different disasters that can happen according to where you live, which I've talked to you all about. It tells you how to prepare a family preparedness binder, which is a wonderful thing. I've told you guys, get a notebook and write stuff down. The preparedness notebook, how to store food, what food to store, just all kinds of lists. And again, when I read these books, I've gathered knowledge by reading all of these things: financial preparedness, bookkeeping, cooking. There's lots to think about. And I've read these books and I've taken notes in my notebook and formed my own opinion and my own guidelines for our family. My husband and I talk a lot, and I'm not just the only one out there taking care of my family, of course. He's full of input and knowledge as well. Fire evacuation plans, that's something that every family, I don't care where you live, you need to have a plan for how to get out of your house in case your house catches on fire, how to get everyone safely out. We did this with our kids when they were little. We made sure we had a plan in place and that they knew what to do just in case that happened. So anyway, this is a really good book, tornadoes, tsunamis. So I would recommend this book for just about anyone, because no matter where you live or what your situation, there's going to be information in here that it will either give you ideas or it will help you start thinking about ideas for your family. I don't just read these books and take everything to heart that I read, but I've gathered knowledge from several books, listening to several speakers, doing my own research, and I've formed my opinion. Take a little bit of knowledge from this book, a little bit from this book, and that's how I've been able to get ready for my prepping. This book is very good. It's very intimidating to me. It's called Making the Best of Basics. You can get this book on Amazon as well. I'll hold it up for a few minutes so you can have time to write that title down. This is one of those books that I read, and I appreciated the book. I was very thankful for all of their research and information, but most of what's in here I wasn't able to do. They tell you literally step by step how to prepare I think it's like a whole year's worth of food for your family. There's recipes, which is very helpful. Recipes to go along with your prepping supplies, the things that you've stored. You want to be able to have ideas and recipes for how you're going to use those food items. Charts, lots and lots and lots of charts on each item and how much of each item per person you need, and how to total that up and how much to buy and what it's going to cost. And it's very, very overwhelming. But along with the food item, how long it stores in the pantry, in the fridge, in the freezer, special handling notes. It tells you the special things you need to think about. Be sure and keep this item cool and dry. Butter will keep up to a year if melted enough to separate the whey from the pure butter fat. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't read this book. So it's very helpful. I read through the book and I highlighted the information I thought was helpful to me, and then I haven't followed letter by letter what they say to do in here, because I can't do that. My house is too small. I can't afford to spend this kind of money. It's just, you know, it's overwhelming. The thing I did like about this book is that it breaks it down what you need when you're thinking about preparing for your family. I'm looking for these categories here. It talks about food, water, medication, vitamins, lots of information here. I would recommend this book just because there's tons of information in here. You won't use all this information. It won't all fit every family, but you can read this book and you can pick and choose what would work for your family, and it's a wonderful resource. So I do recommend this book. And along those lines, The Ball Can't Complete Book of Home Preserving, 400 Delicious and Creative Recipes for Today. This is the more modern book of the ball canning and preserving, because if you have a garden, or if you're able to purchase extra produce from a farmer's market and can and have food prepared at home for your home storage, that's wonderful. I love to can food, all kinds of recipes, 400 recipes and instructions on canning all kinds of things. So this book I would recommend if you enjoy having fresh produce, if you enjoy canning and preserving, this is a good book for you to have. Again, if that's not your thing, if you're not able to do this book won't help you out at all, because it's only about the canning and preserving. But I'll put that up there. I got this on Amazon last year, so that's another good one. And then this is a subject that was really on my husband's heart: the Survival Medicine Handbook and Where There Is No Doctor. These are both to be thought of in case you can't get your family to the doctor, if there is a medical emergency and you can't get medical help. And these books were both recommended for, I know, like missionaries that are in third world countries where there is no medical services, or not very good medical services. These are books that are recommended for them. And I know we have a wonderful medical field in our country, lots of good medical care for us, but there's been times when I've had a sick child and the doctor can't get him in to see him until tomorrow, and you've got a fever you're trying to deal with and it won't come down, or a toothache, and you can't see the dentist for 3 weeks. That's happened to us more than once. A broken tooth, a toothache, whatever, different dental emergencies that you can't just get in the same day. So it's first aid, but it's also more advanced first aid. How to close a wound if you can't get to the emergency room for stitches. I just opened this book up and it says antibiotic options. It's talking about human amoxicillin versus fish mox. You can buy that at a vet store over the counter, and it's amoxicillin 250 milligrams, where the human amoxicillin is 500. It tells you how to change use the fish mox medication for human consumption. I've heard of this. Several resources have talked about this. How to deliver a baby. We live 45 minutes from our hospital, and if a person went into labor and it was a very, very short labor, and I know other women who, on the way to the hospital thought they might not make it. So that would be informative as well. How to deliver a baby, chest pain, spider bites, just very, very helpful book. Survival Medicine, I got this on Amazon as well. I'll hold that up so you can write that title down and decide if that's something that you would enjoy. And the same thing Where There Is No Doctor. It's the same kind of book. It's first aid, but it's a more advanced first aid. It says this book is for the villager who lives far from medical centers. It's for a teacher in a rural school. It's for the village health worker, mothers and midwives. I know we live, there's a small hospital in our town, but there's rural communities around us. I can think of several that, you would have to wait at least a half hour for the ambulance to get there and then get them back to a hospital. So this kind of helps you know what to do, I guess, while you're waiting or until help gets there. And thankfully, I've never had to use either one of the medical books, but I know that they're there if I need them, and that's worth a lot to me. Okay, the Disaster Preparedness Handbook. I have not read this, but it is just full of information. Nice pictures. What is that a picture of? Sunlight. Sunlight can be used to decontaminate water. So I guess they're talking about how to sanitize your water source, different methods of that. Shelter, safeguarding your shelter, tents and tarps, light, like flashlights and lanterns, electrical power, lots of charts, heat. There's another section on first aid, communication, which is important to mention because I always felt like since we had cell phones, we would always be able to communicate with each other with no big deal. If something ever happened, I've got my cell phone. Well, that's not true because we've had 2 tornadoes have gone through our area. And the first thing when you pick up your cell phone to call, we call in to check on our grandmas to make sure they were okay. No cell phone power. The towers went down. There's times there's been an earthquake, cell phone tower goes down. Just different times, and it's usually when there's been a huge, like a community-wide emergency, the cell phone towers don't always hold up, so you need to plan for your communication. It shows in here, it shows walkie-talkies, ham radios, emergency alert system, just different things. But this looks like a very helpful scanners, walkie-talkies. Yeah, there's pictures of the different communications. This book looks like it would just be very helpful in so many different situations. It talks about a retirement fund, an emergency fund. So this is your financial preparedness, which I've also talked to you guys about. There's more ways to prepare than just getting food on pantry shelves. There's all areas of our lives, our financial area, medical, food, shelter, water, so many ways we need to be prepared for so many different situations. So this book is also one I would recommend. And I have more books, but they're all about on the same line. So I chose my favorites to share with you today. It's a good time of year to think about just ordering some books and do some reading, do some research, decide if you want to plant a garden this year or raise chickens for eggs, for meat, have your own protein available every day. Things like that are fun to think about and plan for. So that would be my recommendation to you, is to gather some books on prepping that would help you make decisions for your family and get prepared for all situations, anything, sickness. This is flu season where I live. Coronavirus is still very active, of course. Colds, winter colds, all kinds of the winter fun stuff. So make sure you guys are prepared for that. Stay healthy, keep your spirits up. Always look for the positive in everything. That's hard to do sometimes, but it'll help. It'll help a lot. That's the best way to prepare, is to prepare your heart and your mind to think positive and stay on the good side of things. And order you up some books. Go on Amazon and get you some books and get started. Let me know in the comments if you have any books that have helped you with your journey on prepping and any ideas you all might have. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.